YouTube. Hello, awakened creators. Happy Wednesday to you. Just gonna light my candle here. And as we begin, I want to throw out a couple of scenarios for you. Hi, Gabrielle, welcome. Hi, Dream State Visions, welcome, welcome, welcome all. So I want to throw out some scenarios for you, and I want to see if you can tune in and relate. Maybe you have your own to share, something similar that's happened to you in your creative journey, or maybe it's representative of a fear you have. But I want you to imagine you have finally plucked up the courage to grab your guitar and get on stage. And you're going to sing or you're going to play. And you're so excited. You've been working up to this moment for a long time. And as you step into this new role as your most honest creative expression, you sing off key. You get the note wrong. You completely forget the lyrics. How about another scenario? You have just finally allowed yourself to spend this money that you have on some supplies to create some art. You got it all picked out, everything that you want. You gather everything together. You invest the money. Here I am, I'm doing my thing. And as you begin your creation, it all goes wonky. And you feel like you have ruined everything. There are moments on our creative journeys, and I'll share one personal one, in which I have sat on many a critique group with my writing in full vulnerability of the judgment of others, convinced that my creation is beautiful and fantastic, only to have it torn apart by a group of strangers. In these scenarios, in these moments that may be familiar or may represent your greatest fears, I want you to think about what that creative disappointment, what that creative mistake feels like inside. For me, it can feel like failure. It can feel like heartbreak, embarrassment, shame. There can be a desire in our mind to tell ourselves things like, we should have done better. I can't do this. I'm not cut out for this. Or maybe you have a mind who gets really mean and calls you names and makes you feel horrible inside. The healing opportunity that I want to offer to you today is not my own, and not even from my own cultural background, but is something that I have learned in my spiritual practice. And it's a Hawaiian tradition. And you may be familiar with it, you may not be, but it is called hooponopono. And in my experience with hooponopono, which is used, from my understanding, as a family conflict resolution tool, a spiritual family conflict resolution tool, that it has been a potent ingredient for healing from creative disappointment, from healing from feeling like a failure, from healing from the heartbreak that we inflict upon ourselves when we tell ourselves these terrible stories about what we are and who we are as creators when we don't meet our own expectations or when something doesn't go right. So that creative disappointment that you feel can lead to a lack of self-love, can lead you to believe that you're not worthy of this creative path, that you're not cut out for it. And having a tool like Ho'oponopono, which I'm going to teach you how to do today, I'm going to teach you what it is, how to do it, and we're going to do it together. Having this tool, this practice in your back pocket is going to help you not just heal the relationship you have with yourself and with your creativity, but can also help you heal relationships you have with other people. And this too can be used in a context where there is comparison energy and jealousy breeding between you and another person. And I've used it for that as well, because we can do that a lot as creators also. When we see someone having success or experiencing what we perceive to be success, maybe they won the writing contest and you didn't. There can be a lot of angry, frustration, jealousy projected onto that person that really just poisons ourselves. It doesn't harm them in any way, right? They're probably over there super excited that they won and so happy. It's finally paying off, right, in their mind, and we're over here stewing about it, breeding that darkness within us. And that pain that we inflict on ourselves in those moments can also be healed using Ho'oponopono. So, as I mentioned, this is traditionally used as a form of conflict resolution, but it is a very powerful form of increasing and expanding the energy of self-love and forgiveness. Forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness is a big part of this. So the practice of Ho'oponopono is going to ask you, it's almost like a mantra. There are 4 statements that you'll be making when you perform this practice. The first statement that you are going to make is an apology by saying, I'm sorry. And in the context of the creative disappointment, feeling like you've made a creative mistake, what you're apologizing for is not that you made a mistake. It's that you made yourself feel bad for making a mistake. That's what you're saying sorry for making yourself feel bad about having made a mistake, for talking to yourself in a rude way, for discounting and discrediting the desire that you have to express your heart by telling things like, I can't do this, I'm not meant to for this life, this is for me, I don't want to feel this way anymore, I'm just going to give up. You are first and foremost going to say, I'm sorry to yourself for that. And as I'm sharing the steps of Ho'oponopono with you, I want you to bring to mind a painful situation, a painful creative disappointment or mistake that you've made creatively where you beat yourself up about it. I want you to bring that to mind. If you haven't yet healed it, bring it to mind, because when we practice this actively together, I want you to literally do it with the intention of healing that situation. So try to think of a time where you were creatively disappointed, where you made a creative mistake and you made yourself feel bad about it. Bring it to mind. Maybe it's recent, maybe it's old, okay? Or a situation where you express comparison and jealousy towards another, okay? Because that is us hating on ourselves, just flipped around and projected on someone else. So the first thing you are going to say is, I'm sorry. And again, you're saying it to yourself for making yourself feel bad, not for having made the mistake. The second thing you are going to say is, please forgive me. Now you are asking for forgiveness. You are opening the door of grace. This is what grace feels like. When we ask for forgiveness, we ask for grace. We ask for the opportunity to have stumbled, and yet still be loved. Okay. So when you ask for that forgiveness from yourself, you're letting yourself know that I understand and I see that I could have chosen differently. I could have spoken to myself more kindly. I could have treated myself with more love, but I didn't. I accept that I didn't. And now I am asking for myself to open up to forgive. I'm asking my heart to forgive me. I'm asking my inner child to forgive me. So I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And when you say these words out loud, you'll see they carry a very deep and powerful vibration to them. The next thing that you will say, the next statement is thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Allowing yourself that gratitude to receive the forgiveness. Now you are opening yourself up to receive the healing in gratitude. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And you're going to seal it all. You're going to seal this entire practice, this ritual that you will do with I love you. 3 very powerful words we so take for granted on this earth. But we're going to say them to ourselves. We're going to remind ourselves that we are loved. And we are going to affirm that despite the disappointment, despite the mistake, despite the need to apologize and forgive and open ourselves up to heal, we still love ourselves. And in fact, love ourselves more now because we just did Ho'oponopono. So those are the 4 statements. Now, here's the thing. You can't just say it one time. You're going to repeat these 4 statements over and over and over and over again. And I recommend at least 10 times you're going to say these 4 statements. So you say them, each one, each of the 4, and you repeat it again and again. And you do that at least 10 times. More if you feel like there's still need for more healing, depending on how deep the hurt goes. Only you can know that. You'll feel it inside. You feel complete after the 10, but you're going to repeat it as many times as necessary to feel the growing of that self-love, because what we need most of all on our creative journeys is the ability to love ourselves unconditionally, because we're going to make mistakes. We are going to face disappointment. We are going to get rejected. We are going to have things not turn out how we want it. That's part of this journey. That's why it is such a powerful form of a creative, uh, of a spiritual yoga. Creativity is, and you've chosen that in this lifetime. If you're connected with awakened creators, your soul has chosen the path of the creative as your soul's path this lifetime. And part of accepting that path is the knowing, the soul knowing that you are going to face deep hurt and disappointment. And you are going to need to accept the fact that you are not perfect, that your art's not perfect, but that it is a beautiful reflection of where you are at and who you are right here and now, and that's good enough. So having Ho'oponopono in your pocket as a practice you can do whenever you're feeling the heaviness of that self-loathing or disappointment in yourself, or oh my God, I messed up and I shouldn't. How could I forget the lyrics on stage? I'm so embarrassed. No one's ever going to want to come to my concert again. When you have time after you've expressed your emotion, center yourself, ground, and practice Ho'oponopono and see the transformation that it makes in your life and your ability to love yourself no matter what. And remember, you're asking for forgiveness and you are apologizing not for having made the mistake, but for having judged yourself for it. That's what we are apologizing for today, because it's only the judgment that was really wrong, because you are so lovable. You could make a million mistakes a million times, and you will still be worthy of love. So we're going to practice Ho'oponopono today. And I want you to bring to mind a situation where you've judged yourself for a creative disappointment, or you've judged yourself for a creative mistake. Maybe you judge yourself for where you're at on your creative journey, just in general right now. I should be farther along. I can't believe I haven't made money with my art yet. Okay. Bring whatever situation you have on your heart to mind, or if you're not sure, ask your heart and set the intention that this healing go directly to whatever it is that you have in your heart, known or unknown. And also, if you need to forgive someone else and you feel heavy jealousy or hatred towards another person related to your creativity, so maybe it's a creative partner you've fallen out with, you may want to practice that on them and your relationship with them. But for the purposes of this gathering, I would really like you to try to focus on yourself or whatever situation is most pertinent to you right now. Okay, so here we go with Ho'oponopono to help heal creative disappointment and creative mistakes. And I want you to begin by just getting centered in your space, getting comfortable in your seat. Maybe gently rest your hands on your knees. And you're sitting up straight but not stiff, just alert. And you close your eyes and just begin to breathe and ground into this moment now. Feel the heaviness and weight of your body on the earth or whatever you're sitting on. Feel that gravity, that connection. Maybe visually you put some roots down into the ground to ground yourself, to hold yourself steady as you perform this powerful work of Ho'oponopono. And I want you to take one big deep cleansing breath as you bring to mind the situation that you would like to bring some healing to today. Deep breath into the belly and sigh it out. And now placing your hands over your heart, holding that situation of creative disappointment or creative mistake. We will repeat these 4 statements of Ho'oponopono 10 times. I am sorry. Make sure you're speaking it out loud to yourself. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. In your practice, in your creative practice, you can find that in the link in my bio or in the description box wherever you're watching this. So I almost started crying. I mean, I kind of did start like tearing up a little bit, just thinking about all the times I have held myself back and I have locked myself in this little cage out of fear and not allowed myself to expand creatively. So whatever come up for you, I'd be curious to know if you're willing to share in the comments what came up for you when you did this practice. And do you see yourself using Ho'oponopono in the future, or have you used it before? I became familiar with this spiritual practice many years ago, and I used it throughout my journey at different points, um, to help me move through feelings of discomfort with other family members or people at work even, um, and to just spread love and be love and embody that love. So I highly recommend it. Um, and yeah, I'm just really grateful that you're here, and I'm grateful to have a moment to be with you. It is beautiful in its simplicity, Gabrielle. It truly is. And when you say those words, I feel like our souls are just so hungry for those words. We're so hungry to forgive ourselves for treating ourselves so poorly and to reaffirm that love that we know is the true essence of our soul. Um, and I'm so honored to be able to share this practice with you. So thank you for being open to learning more about it. If you feel like you know a creator who could really use this kind of wisdom and teaching, then please share this video with them, and spread the word, because it is absolutely definitely one of the valuable ones I like to keep in my back pocket on my creative journey because it comes in handy. Um, yeah, Wings of Jewels, my voice broke when I said I love you. Mhm. Mm. Oh, dream state. I've been doing my own version of this, not knowing it was already a thing. I will continue to use this medicine. How intuitive. That's beautiful. I am so honored to hear that from you. You are so wise, sister. I love you very much. Okay, folks. Well, let's see. It's Wednesday. When's the next time we will see each other? On Monday for the new moon in Cancer. Oh, this is a perfect video to segue into the new moon in Cancer because Cancerian energy is so loving and nurturing and mothery, and like Ho'oponopono is this beautiful Cancerian energy. Like it really has that vibration of just holding ourselves in this container of love and nurturing. And so, yes, I hope you will join me on Monday for our new moon creative ritual where we will be planting the seeds to manifest a more nurturing um, energy as far as we perceive our creative journey, right? Bringing more of that love and caring into what we are doing. Because you can always add more love. My mommy always used to say. So thank you so much for being here, and I love you very much, and I will see you live on Monday. Bye for now.